hold him to 19 points, I think.
21, but 8. No, but you're right. I mean, I think we set the stage for that by holding them to 21 in the second. You know, we talked about, you know, being down, I think, 10 at the half, how we couldn't waste any time. We had to get right to it and guard and control the ball and try to keep them out of our pain as much as possible. And we had you know, obviously a tremendous third quarter that kind of made up for the first and gave us a chance to control the game a little bit down the stretch.
Two for you. Just, is there any update on Bruce and what happened to him?
I have no update. Just took a fall and is a little ginger.
And then James Johnson with the double-double for you guys. What did you see to him tonight?
I mean, just great competitiveness, playing for the team. Spirit was great. You know, obviously he can do some playmaking out there. He can attack the basket with his quickness and size, and he rebounded the ball for us. So huge effort from him and everyone. Everyone pitched in. It was not an easy game for us, and you know, we had to find a way to make it happen with a lot of kind of non-shooting lineups. You know, the paint is crowded, and it wasn't easy for James to get in there. So our guys, I thought, were great at finding solutions, continuing to play, driving the ball to the basket, getting stops when needed, and just figuring out different ways to get it done.
Coach, I know the repetition helps, but what are you seeing with the group that's out there on the floor when James is not out there? What kind of chemistry do you see building, and how do you see them finding ways to do what they need to do?
Yeah, you know, I thought it was pretty good for moments in the second, but you know, tough in the fourth there to start the fourth. But that's also a group out there in the fourth that I don't believe has ever played together. A lot of guys that haven't been, you know, on the floor much, and let alone together. So it takes time, but you know, I thought they hung in there, fought in that fourth quarter stretch, and you know, they definitely you know, had the spirit that it took tonight to compete and keep us in it at times.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
James has attempted at least 11 free throws in 4 of the last 5 games. I'm just wondering if you've seen any shift in the way he's being officiated, or is it just a byproduct of him being more aggressive and getting to his spots?
I think both. I do think, though, that the referees are starting to figure out, you know, what's still a foul, what's still a basketball foul, and what's a non-basketball play, or whatever the mandate says. I think early it was difficult, you know, for them to know where the line was, and now, you know, he's such a you know, difficult guy to cover with his size, speed, quickness, ability to shoot over anyone from 3 that, you know, guys have to get too close to him, and then he's so strong that once he gets a slight angle on you or step on you, you know, it's almost impossible not to foul him, because if it's either get out of the way or you're going to draw contact. So, you know, that's what makes him brilliant, is his ability to penetrate, to take contact, and to, you know, be able to dictate what happens when that contact happens.
James said something the other day about how this is a group, that's kind of a broader question than just this game, but he said something the other day about how this is a group that's still figuring out who it is, what it can be great at. I'm curious, from your perspective, do you see that as something that this team is still sort of working through and figuring out, and how do you evaluate how you're progressing in that direction?
Yeah, I think it's very early for this group. You know, it's 17 games. You know, we've had multiple guys injured as well, so we have 10 new players. I think it takes time. You know, a lot of guys with different backgrounds, different histories, different habits, trying to blend together. You know, we started our training camp the first kind of week or 2 with Kyrie, and you know, kind of a clear continuity path from last year, and then, you know, we had to change a lot of things, and so now we do have to explore how we can come together, find commonality, find ways to be efficient and effective offensively. I think the defense has come earlier for us than the offense, but the offense has got to be a project that we just stick with and have trust and faith and work at it together and evaluate it and constantly refine it, and hopefully it's a project that continues to show growth throughout the
tonight too.
Yeah, but also, yeah, he was terrific, and then of course James Harden. We're not going to hear any more complaints about foul calls.
Right. Oh my goodness.
He went to the free throw line 20 times tonight. I get it. The last 6 free throw attempts, they were giving the foul.
Right.
But he was 19 for 20, and sometimes you forget about this. The Nets 23 of 25. If you're going to get to the free throw line, convert your free throws. That's what the Nets did.
All right, Frank, let's take a look at some key plays in that second half. And we start with the big stretch in the third quarter. Blake Griffin kicking it out to Patty Mills for a game-tying three. Remember, Nets trailed by as many as 19 in this one. Trailed by 9 at the break. It's tied there later. Nets in the lead. James Johnson hits the fadeaway. Tough shot.
I was saying, bad shot alert. And you know what? That was a tough shot. It came down wet. The thing is, he made. How about this play by Blake Griffin? The ball fake. Wendell Carter Jr. bit on it completely, had his head completely turned, and Blake Griffin gets the dunk.
Orlando answers. Franz Wagner, corner three, cuts it to 2, and then soon after, Magic down 3.
Yeah, and here you go. How about this kid, Okeke? How good was he knocking down shots?
79 all, back to Harden and the Nets, driving and put it in off glass. The kiss. 37-21 Brooklyn in the third. Fourth quarter, Mills right to the tin to lay it in here. Quick move here by Patty.
Went by the other Wagner, Mo Wagner.
Back and forth we go. Okeke, your guy. The jumper.
How big time of a move was that? Along the baseline, makes the shot over James Harden.
Harden misses. LMA. Bats it around, gets it to himself, puts it back in. Under 3 minutes left. James Johnson, there he is again. 2 big points here for J squared.
And I kept thinking, I thought he was in a little bit of trouble there, but he did a good job attacking the basket. And this is late. They're up 1. Orlando looking for a stop. There's LaMarcus Aldridge against the rookie, Franz Wagner. Converts a little jump hook in the lane.
Big bucket after big bucket for the Nets. They tied the largest comeback win at home since January 9th, 2019 against the Hawks. They also trailed by 19. Largest comeback win this season. Magic led 62-43 in the second, and the 12-5 record, as we heard Ian Eagle say, ABA or NBA franchise history. That's the best 17-game start for the Nets.
Yeah, it's terrific. All things considered with who wasn't available tonight. And again, James Harden did not make a field goal in the fourth quarter, and the Nets still won this game. And I thought, all in all, what he was able to do by getting to the free throw line, here he is early on, going downhill. You know, before the game, Steve Nash said, you know, he's not really going to be Houston James Harden. I kind of thought he was Houston James Harden tonight. There were times where, could he be accused of over-dribbling? I would probably say yes. But guess what? He was drawing fouls. He was getting to the free throw line. He was getting other guys involved. I thought
he read the game. I think he read the game, and here's his season, first 11, last 6, and you could see that. And if you want to break it down to his last 5, Frank, he's averaging over 28 points per game over his last 5.
Yeah, and one other thing, and you brought it up at halftime, 41 points for Orlando in the first quarter. I think my math is right. Over the final 3 quarters, they held them to 72, which is pretty good considering Orlando scored 41 in that first quarter.
Well, as we were watching the game back there, you saw the Nets' defensive intensity pick up in the second half, and that really helped out in them getting back into this game. But no Kevin Durant, no Joe Harris, and let's not forget, no Bruce Brown in the second half either with the tweaked hamstring. So James Harden is a veteran. We've seen him in Houston. You brought it up, Houston, James Harden. He read the game. He did what he had to do.
And that's why Steve Nash really using a lot of his roster, because guys like Javon Carter, DeAndre Bembry, James Johnson, they needed those guys tonight. I mean, you had 3 regular stars.